up on Saturday, the grind's on my mind. Dreams in the window, but the rent's in a bind. Pour the coffee hot and the to-do list speaks. It ain't just business, it's the life that it beats. Hustle's the anthem, the clock is my foe. Chasing the vision with a steady glow. Small steps, big dreams, they're starting to grow. Wake up Saturday morning, small business show.
Hey everybody, Tom Kelly from Cole County Entertainment. On this week's Small Business Saturday show, we spotlight Black Rock Brewery. Let's go in. Tom Kelly, Cole County Entertainment. On this week's Small Business Saturday show, we are spotlighting Black Rock Brewery. I'm sitting here with Bobby Weaver, the owner. Bob, how are you, pal? Good. Thank you for jumping on with us. Tell me a little bit about Black Rock. Tell me, how long has Black Rock been around?
It would be since 2020. I tell everyone that we closed on this deal to financing from local agencies and capital and other banks on March 12th of 2020 with a really firm, confident business plan. And then 7 days later, the world started shutting down. Fun fact, the guy that I bought this building from was in downtown New York City where he lived. Was on a ventilator for 4 months, a week after he signed this building over. Wow. Yeah, he was part of that original percentage. So we've been around for 5 years. We have a little bit of a storied history in our short 5 years, but yeah, we're a brewery, brew pub, doesn't brew beer, and we love the hospitality industry. That's what we're all about.
Excellent, excellent. I know a lot of folks in the hospitality industry for sure. What made you decide to move to Black Rock?
Well, we saw that there was a market gap with outdoor seating and possible in the general surrounding area. Personally, I love historic buildings, and this building, driving by and being Possible native, it's always. Now I'm 30, so it feels like basically my whole life in Lincoln. When I was the YWCA, I had memories of doing tumble here. Like, it feels like the majority of the county has memories here doing some activity, whether it's gymnastics or meetings or something else. But it was just a kind of perfect storm of historic building, the coffee shop as well. So I knew I wanted to get into more hospitality and restaurant. And it was an eyesore, wedding building. Rest, so it just works.
What was it? So it was the Y before?
Yeah, so
okay. I know over the last 10 years, beer gardens have kind of exploded. Tell me a little bit about your outside space.
Well, I mean, it makes me miserable. There's always stuff to do, and you can't use it in the winter. But at the end of the day, drinking beer, being with people outdoors is something that is pervasive in all cultures. Worldwide. In the United States, the beer garden movement was just that, really. And it's different. Like, restaurants all have their different styles and how they operate, but when you have enough outdoor seating, you aren't as necessarily worried about something like table turn time or having waiters and waitresses. We have groups that hang out that don't even buy anything. They don't really care. We'd rather have people here interacting, doing things, because between both sides, we have 200 seats. And so, Thursday, people want to have party or group gathering. Some local nonprofit just had a 30-person meeting. We just had it outside, and it just it's why we bought the building. It's the outdoor seating opportunity, but it's not without its cons.
I mean, that's every place. Let's talk about one of my favorite things on planet Earth: beer. Can you give me a rundown on some of the Black Rock beers you guys have?
I can. So we are unique. So when we bought this building, you can take a look at the basement after we finish up, but it's not really conducive to a full brewing environment. You'd also notice that we don't have any ground level floors. You have to go up into our building, around into our building. And because we built this place for volume, we get very, very busy, especially when we have live music. I always knew that I wasn't gonna, like, you wouldn't want to drink my beer. I'm not a brewer. I don't, that's not my thing. I love drinking beer. I love, working with great brewers to design good beer. That's not my forte. So we have a brewer out of Harrisburg, 10 barrel system, his name's Albert DeBob, very experienced brewer. And basically what happens is myself and him, we develop the styles and the flavor profiles that we want. We brew a couple pilot batches, and then once we get a beer that we think is really good and commercially attractive, then he brews 10 barrel batches, and then we drive to Harrisburg with empty kegs, and then depending on the beer, between 4 and 12 weeks later, we come back and pick up the brewed beer. So that's called contract brewing. But he is an excellent brewer. So we have 4 core beers that we always keep on draft. So our Black Rock Blonde is a 7% Belgian blonde. That's actually next. It's my personal favorite. We have a Mexican lager, so it's the Cold Town Cerveza. Kind of vibes like a craft Corona. It actually kind of gets that vibe out of it. We sometimes serve it with a lime. It's really good. Lantern Light. You can see all these are like themed for our area, right? So Lantern Light is our light. It's 4.5% light beer. Probably our number one seller, especially when you want to have 2 or 3 beers on a 85 degrees. That's a good one for that. And then we have our Cajun Canary, which is a single hops IPA, 5.5%. And I describe it as like really clean, not a lot of linger. Same thing built for a beer garden kind of environment. We don't usually do doubles or triples. The goal by being the brew pub, I think, was having a consistent beer list and having something for everybody. So for 2 light beers all the way through an IPA and a blonde. Sometimes we do coffee stouts, but that's really interesting.
Like I'm an ogre, I'm about quantity over quality.
Yeah.
I'm a light beer kind of guy.
Yeah.
I was like the lantern beer would be.
The Black Rock Blonde is dangerous because it does not taste like a 7% blonde. It tastes like a 4.5% blonde. And people will drink 2 or 3 of those and then suddenly have to chill for 45 minutes before they take to the next spot.
That's trouble for sure. What's
Yeah.
your favorite out of the Black Rock?
I've been an IPA guy. I love our Cajun Canary, the fruitiness, and it's because when you have it freshly brewed and the hops, I don't know, there's something about it, especially like after I was just doing yard work and stuff. I always reach for a double, or it's a single or double IPA that's just refreshing and crisp. That's probably my favorite.
Sounds pretty good to
Yeah.
me. Also a big bar food guy. Can you give me a little rundown of your menu?
Yeah. So I don't mean to mention. I'm not going to mention any other local restaurants. I just think that there are some market gaps. I'm a big market gap. If I see something that's not happening, I'm always like, how do we do that, right? So every time I go to a major city, or frankly a beer garden, I get gyros. I love gyros. They're the best. Good pita, especially if you get it fresh made or brought in. So we have 3 major categories of our foods right now. So we have our sandwiches, we have smash burgers, chicken sandwiches, actually made with chicken tenders, and with different toppings and pulled pork, which I consider something for everybody. But then we have our pretzel logs and our gyros. So our gyros are, we do have 2 Greek ones with lamb, and we make our own in-house tzatziki, red onions, tomatoes, feta cheese. We wrap them, they're warm, they're delicious. I eat too many of them. The gyros are awesome. But what we originally started as our only Black Rock food item was our pretzel logs. Have you ever been to like those farmers markets that have like the pretzel logs?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, I want a brewery with burger sandwich, which is delicious, but I would argue that the smash burger pretzel log is even better. Because how do you beat, like we make our dough fresh every morning. So it's fresh pretzel dough that you lay out flat, you put burger meat and cheese, sauce, all inside, you roll it together, and you bake it for 7.5 minutes. And it's a perfectly golden pretzel with all this, like it's so good.
Mouth watering.
It's so good. And like buffalo chicken or chicken bacon ranch or all these things are just literally any sandwich you can think of, you could stuff in a pretzel and it's probably better.
Yeah.
That's not, especially if you're drinking beer. Like, come on.
I'm from South Philly.
Yeah.
Pretzels are kind of
Yeah.
the national food down there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you guys do live music. Can you kind of give me a little rundown on your live music venue out here and the band that you bring in?
I mean, I love live music. I'm a huge music guy. I've been to a lot of live performances. the idea of doing an outdoor venue is difficult because weather is unpredictable and tends to be filled with hatred because it seems like it's always the days you don't want it to rain is when it rains. But we love it. There's really, frankly, nothing better than live music outside with beer. And this year, our personal goal is to have 75 live performances at Black Rock at varying times. And I think we just passed, we're on a faster track than I thought we would be to hit that personal goal of 75. I think this last week that played was number 30. We've only been reopened for 4 months. So, and that's multiple shows on the same day. We've had fundraising on Sunday with 4 different bands playing. We helped the Penn State School branch, which trying not to get closed. And then 4 bands. I'll plug those guys. P71, Cena, Dynamics Department, Not Out of the Park. Those are, in my opinion, those are 3 of the best local bands. They're just killing it. We've had other ones, right? We've had Nothing Fancy here. We have a huge music scene. Not just Positive, but School County as a whole. And giving them an outdoor venue that pays them fairly and allows them to kind of play whatever they want, as long as they want, bring their friends and families. It's awesome. It's so cool to be part of.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to get out here. We're doing a Sunday fun day and just hang out for a little bit. Lastly, do you guys have anything coming up this summer that you want to plug? Any kind of events going on?
I always got stuff planned. I just know it's tough. I'm kind of an idea guy, but like when I go to execute it, it's always hard. Like at one point in time, we were going to go to a Renaissance Fair in August. So that's not awesome. Smoked turkey legs.
Yep.
I had a guy on a horse with a full suit of armor, and then it's like suddenly all these vendors started backing out. It's just, yeah, we have things. We're planning a larger music event with multiple days over Labor Day, but really our model is. I try not to go too far out with marketing because if something current event or pop culture happens or something in town, like I want to be able to like come in and support and like build marketing off of what's going on. Sure. So it's always a balancing act. But then we always try to do work stuff in the middle. I will say, I don't watch Love Island. Do you watch Love Island? Do you know people that watch Love Island?
I know a couple.
Yeah, they get really obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have. Do you know my brother does the smoked meats here?
I've heard, yes.
So it's called Glove. So it's the we give out all of our brisket and ribs with gloves. We're gonna do a Glove Island event in July.
That's fantastic.
We have 2 hosts. We're gonna have a pool here. I'm still working the logistics, but then Jacob's doing the smoked meats. We have all these events based around Love Island. But it's like stuff like that. But also I would just tell everyone, people want to know what I'm doing, they have to be on Facebook. So I don't really post that we're doing anything else. And a lot of people that's really where most people get their information. So we just try to be diligent with keeping things posted and letting people know when things are happening. And most people check Facebook, and the people that don't check Facebook seem to talk to people who check Facebook. So
Exactly. I find that out very often. Very often. Well, I mean, everything sounds amazing. It's my first time in this establishment, and I'm over the moon. It's wonderful in here.
yeah, thanks.
For everyone out there listening, come down here. You're in Pottsville. Stop by Black Rock. Get yourself a beer. Maybe Bobby will be in here. Say hi. Tell them the guys over at Cole County sent you. But for Bobby Weaver, I'm Tom Kelly. This is the Small Business Saturday Show.